Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 says, Ask and it shall be given to you, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be open unto you. Let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit deeper.
Powerful. Few things are as powerful. Few things are as powerful as love.
What is going on, beautiful people? You are listening to the Affirmations for Black Girls podcast, where we focus on personal growth and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. I'm your host, Tyra, the creative actress, content creator, and mental health enthusiast. And if you are watching on YouTube, hey, I'm so glad to see you guys. And if you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening on your favorite platform, hello, I'm glad that you guys are here. But this is a video episode, so if you did want to tune in to the video, you can go to the YouTube channel. So today I just wanted to do an episode that will kind of resemble a Pep Talk Wednesday episode. I don't even know how long this episode will be. I didn't even write down a lot of notes. I just got one point that I want to drive home to y'all, and that is ask and you shall receive. But before we dive into my thoughts behind this and why I wanted to talk about this with you guys today, let's go ahead and jump into our affirmation of the week. This week's affirmation is I deserve. And that's it. Let's go ahead and drop in, you guys. I deserve. I deserve. I deserve. I deserve. I deserve. I deserve. What does that look like for you? What does deserving feel like to you? What does it look like? Let's say it one last time together and really mean it with our hearts. I deserve. Mm. You know, a lot of the affirmations, well, basically all of them that I use from week to week are really things that I be needing to hear, y'all. I deserve. What do you deserve? What does it look like for you to deserve? Do you truly feel that you do deserve? Because if you don't feel like you deserve it, that, this, then we got to work on that because we are deserving beings. And just like the Bible verse says, ask and you shall receive, right? So I was on Instagram. Let me see. Is that where I want to start? Yes. Let me just start there. I was on Instagram the other day, and one of my best friends, Bria, you guys know her. She's been on the podcast a couple of times, and I might need to bring her back to have a conversation about this. But she was talking on her story one day about how she has started to put the things out into the world that she wants in her life, no matter how hard they may be to come by, no matter if she has the skills for it or knows how she's going to get there. She has been working at putting it out into the world that she wants this thing. And she was just taking us through some of the things that she had been believing God for and taking us all the way through to the final stage of her getting what she had asked for. And she brought up Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. And when she put that on her story, this whole thing, it just made me say, okay, yes, this is confirmation to something that I had been thinking about for a long time. So I have always, and I've mentioned this a couple of times on the podcast, but I have always struggled with making my requests known. And that is directly against what God wants you to do. He wants you to make your request known. He wants you to live fully in that so that He can bless you with the things that you want. And even as a young child, I would say things like, "Oh, I'm not going to ask for it because I don't want to jinx it." Y'all, we got to get out of that. And it's so hard to get out of something like that. And I'm still working on it each and every day. I'm literally in the beginning stages of using effective prayer and asking God for the deepest desires of my heart, right? Like there are some things that I will ask God for, and I'll just be like, okay, God, I want this thing. Come on, I want this thing, right? But some things that are really near and dear to my heart that would hurt me if I don't get it, or just, some things that are truly tied to how I feel, I don't be want to ask because I don't want to be disappointed. And I have always struggled with the idea that disappointment is inevitable. I've always struggled with the idea that we will all experience disappointment. And in my head, I've been telling myself, well, if I don't ask for it and I don't get it, then I don't have to be disappointed because I never even put it out there. And I'm working on not being like that, because what kind of life is that to live? So before I keep going, I do want to read this Bible verse again. I'm going to read the exact one that Bria posted because I screenshot it and I was like, okay, this is definitely confirmation. This is the New Living Translation version, Matthew 7, and I'm going to read all the way through verse 11. Keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. You parents, if your children ask for a loaf of bread, do you give them a stone instead? Or if they ask for a fish, do you give them a snake? Of course not. So if you sinful people know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father give to those who ask of him? This just read me for filth completely, because if your parents are giving you the things that you want, because Christmas is coming up. When I was little, my Christmas list used to be deep and it used to be detailed, baby, specific, okay? And I wanted the things that I wanted on that list. And I wholeheartedly believed that my parents will get me these things. Now, why can't I put that same trust in God? Why? With the deepest desires of my life, with my career, with my love life, with the things that I want to do, the things that I want to accomplish in my lifetime, why would I not bring those to God? And I was just like, dang, I know it's not going to be a super easy transition, but something got to give. And I really have to make strides to having a more effective prayer life and to truly just plainly asking God for what I want, because it might sound simple and you might be like, girl, just ask Him. Y'all, that has been so hard for me to actually do. I have to take it step by step. So here's to the beginning of asking God for what I want and truly putting the desires of my heart out there for Him to bless me in return. So let's go back to our affirmation real quick. Our affirmation is just a blanket statement, and it's something that I don't say often. And that's why I wanted it to be our affirmation of the week, because we do deserve the things that we want in this life. Just because we are, just because we're here, we deserve good things. We inherently deserve good things to happen to us, good things to be good things to be in our lives, all of the things, right? And I think, like I said, I think deep down I have just struggled with the disappointment aspect of it. It's not that I don't trust God, because I do trust God, because I do ask God for a lot of things. But the things that, like, for example, in my love life, the things that I deeply, deeply desire that have been attached to my emotions, I don't really be bringing that to God, and I don't be taking it nowhere else, but I just hold it in the back of my mind. I hold it in the back of my heart. I'm like, well, if it's meant for me to have it, I'll just have it. It'll just happen. No, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open to you. So let's talk about that that knock portion of that. I definitely attribute that to the idea of faith without works is what? Exactly. Faith without works is dead. We have to work. We have to do the thing. I've talked about this scenario on the podcast a long time ago, and it just sits with me every single day. And I go back to it pretty often because I've always struggled with the idea of asking God for the things that I want. But I was at church one Sunday, one church, LA. I go to one church in LA, one church in Los Angeles, and Pastor Toure was talking one time, and he was just talking about what are those things? Traffic lights, right? And the idea that sometimes I think it was him. I don't know. And that's the thing. I just know the stay with me, y'all. I'm all over the place a little bit because I didn't write no notes down, but stay with me. So the idea that going to a traffic light, you have the red, yellow, and green, right? And when you're going through those lights, when the light turns yellow, you start to slow down, right? And when the light turns red, you come to a complete stop. So the idea is when you're going through these lights and you go through the first green light and you see the lights in front of you are starting to change, God can easily turn that next light green, the light after that green, the light after that green, so you can coast through. But guess what happened? You had to put your foot on the gas to start going through those lights, right? Faith without works is dead. And that's a interesting example, but God can have all of those doors open for you. All you got to do is take that first step. You literally never know what's going to happen. What you have to do first is take your request to God, and then you have to work towards that request. You have to live a life you have to live your life as if this prayer is going to be answered, as if this prayer has already been answered, as if you already have the tools and the things to be blessed in the way that you're trying to be blessed. And that sometimes is just so hard for me. So I was thinking the other day, it's like, okay, what can I do to at least start putting myself in a position to share these things with God more openly? Because sometimes I'll even be like, well, God, you know my thoughts. You know the desires of my heart. Why do I got to tell you? Because ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be opened unto you. It takes us, it's a give and take. We have to do our part just like God does his part, right? So I said, you know what? I am going to go to Target. I'm going to get me a little notebook, and it's going to be my prayer notebook for my desires, for the deepest desires of my heart. So I got it. I just got it, y'all. On the front of it, it says, write it down. So that can be a daily reminder to me, girl, write it down. At least get it out of your head because that has just been something that is so hard for me. I haven't written anything in it yet. I literally got this yesterday and I wanted to share it with you guys. But basically, all I have is this little notebook and it opens up just like that. And I can write my notes on every single page. And this is where I'm going to write the things that I want from God. And I think one of the first things that I asked of God that truly made me nervous in my career this year, like recently, is for my YouTube channel to grow. I I put this on Threads and I also put this on YouTube, but I recently asked God for 30,000 subscribers for my 30th birthday. I said that would be a great gift. I've been on YouTube since 2017 and I had begun to plateau and I was starting to feel frustrated with where I was in my creative journey and I was getting weary. And I remember sitting in my bed and I was like, I was crying. I was ugly crying, y'all. But I was like, God, like, should I be doing something else? Should I pivot? Or is this you telling me that I need to pivot? Because I'm creating all of this great content, by the way. And y'all know I'm a chef. So I be baking, putting all of this time and energy into this content, and it's not growing. I'm just not growing. It's been years and I'm not growing. And I'm doing things that other creators are doing. I'm also making sure that I'm setting myself apart. I'm doing all the things. I'm just not growing. My content is just not getting in front of people that would like to watch my content. That's it. Literally, when I prayed that last night. I was just like, God, give me a sign. Like, should I pivot? What should I do? But God, I really need you to move in this because I am getting weary. I want to give up. I like that I started that idea started entering my head, and I was like, God, I am not a quitter, and I've never been a quitter. And the next day, y'all, one of my videos started to go viral, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was a video that I had posted maybe like a month and some change ago. It started to go viral, and I was like, oh gosh, what's going on? And here's the thing, I want to make sure that I wasn't seeking virality. I was seeking confirmation that this is the path that I should be on. This is the season of life that I should still be living in. That's what I was seeking from God. And I felt like I got that confirmation from him that day, and my channel has been skyrocketing since then because I have leaned in even more to who I am, what my story is, and all of the things, right? So after that video started to go viral, I said, oh my gosh, this was like 2 weeks before my birthday. I said, God, and I was at like 27K. I was like, God, can I please have 30K for my birthday? That would be one of the best birthday gifts. It will also, put the battery back in my back to do this thing. And I asked God for 30K. And then I also put it out into the world. I put it on my social media. I said, y'all, I'm trying to get 30K by my 30th birthday. Not only did I get 30K by my birthday, I got 30K a week before my birthday. And by my birthday, I was at like 34,000 subscribers. And once again, it's not about the numbers, it's just about the idea of me actually putting things out there that I want, because we always censor the things that we have going on, right? Before we have going on in our brain before we let them out into the world. So I always think these things, but before I even say it out loud, I'm like, well, I don't need to ask for that. It's just vanity metrics. Like, it doesn't really mean anything. Y'all, if you have something that you want, do not be embarrassed to ask God for it. I'm not saying you got to tell the whole world, but don't ever be embarrassed to ask God for something. And I'm saying this stuff because I need to also hear this stuff. And I decided to go and get this notebook so I can write these things down, because I was like, wow, not only did I get the thing that I asked God for, I got it before the date that I asked Him to have it by. God really got my back. Like, He really is here. I asked and He gave it to me. And I also knocked and the door was open unto me. So I asked for it, but I not only did I ask for it, I kept posting good content. I kept making sure I was doing the things that I needed to do to grow in my creative business. And God was like, "Here you go." And that's just it's just mind-boggling to me that for so long I have literally just not ask God for the desires of my heart. So I'm working on that. And my challenge to you guys is to also do the same thing. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. That'll look a lot of different ways. And I know I'm saying this over and over and over again, but knock and the door shall be opened unto you. This episode is sponsored by Dorado. Y'all, if you have been on social media lately, then you have seen the brand Dorado. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, then you can see I'm wearing one of my Dorado necklaces right here. I absolutely love these necklaces. And for the longest, I was like, oh my gosh, I want some of these customized pieces. And literally, right before I pressed checkout, the brand reached out to me and they sent me some goodies. So this is one of their chokers, and I got it customized with the letter T. If you know me, you know I love anything that has a story behind it. So I obviously got a T for my first name, Tyra. But here's the best piece that I want to share with you guys on the podcast. So Dorado sent me one of their chains, and y'all, it says AFBG. Look at that. It is so cute. So they ended up sending me a lot of pieces, and I got some to commemorate like Lexi. I got like this heart shaped one. Let me show you. I got this heart shaped one with the flowers on it to commemorate Lexi. So I'll wear that whenever I'm, trying to just remember her. And I also got another one of these choker style necklaces with WM on it, and it stands for Willie Mae. As you guys know, my great grandmother just passed away last year. So I really wanted to get a necklace that would remind me of her. So anytime I wear it and people say, "Oh my gosh, what does the WM stand for?" I can tell them a little bit about grandma. And fun fact, it's also my daddy's initials as well. So it kind of serves twofold. I also got this super icy one. It says Tyra G because if you know me, my nickname is Tyra G. And I love it because I would have never picked this up, but as soon as I saw it on the website, I said, you know what? I need this. And I've actually worn this one already and I got compliments on it. And I was like, thank you. It's Dorado. Oh, and the last piece that I want to show you guys, I wanted these so bad in the 90s. Y'all, bamboo earrings. Dorado sent me some personalized ones. These say Tyra G as well. And I am just, ah, I've worn these, y'all. Prepare to be sick of me. I've already worn these. If you've been seeing my content lately, I've already worn these like 10 times. These are the earrings, and I feel like that girl when I wear them. And the good thing is, these pieces aren't just for girls, they can be for anybody in your life. I saw a lot of pieces that I would like to get for my brother because he is starting to wear more jewelry, and it'll be the perfect thing for the holidays because y'all know Christmas is coming up. I think Dorado will be a great gift for the loved ones in your family and friends, and it's a personalized piece. I have been racking my brain like the last 3 years because I'm just like, dang, I'm running out of gift ideas. So if you're looking for something for somebody and you cannot figure out what to get them for Christmas, go to Dorado and get them a personalized piece. Maybe you get them a loved one's initials. Maybe you get them their initials. And it's a lot of different pieces to choose from. So click the link down below in the show notes to shop Dorado today. Now let's get back into the episode.
Hey, you're on my mind, you know.
Effective prayer is about more than just asking. It's about nurturing your relationship with God. It's about believing in your worthiness and being receptive to outcomes that align with your highest good. I deserve, I deserve, you deserve, we deserve good things to happen in our lives. But I think one of the most powerful things that we can do is take Matthew 7 and 7 and use that in our prayer life. First, you have to ask. And when you ask boldly, ask confidently. Then you have to seek. What actions are you taking? And then knock. And when that door is open, baby, be ready to take that opportunity. I will say that subconsciously I have been doing those things since September, not too long, but I've been doing those things, especially when I asked God for 30K. And one of my goals for the rest of this year and going into the new year is to one, use this prayer book, and in my head, like my book is for God's eyes only. So I am not worried about other people seeing it. I'm not worried about being embarrassed. And when I do feel embarrassed about writing something down, I'm going to take a beat and I'm still going to write it because the relationship that we have with God should be one that is intimate. It should be one that is authentic and vulnerable. So remind yourself that you deserve. And also remind yourself that the same way you asked your mama and daddy for those gifts for Christmas, that's the same confidence that you need to have when you're asking God for the things that you want in this life. So, with that being said, what are you believing God for? What are you boldly going to ask God for? Do you already have a prayer journal that has all of your deepest desires in it? Do you already ask God for the things that you want? You don't have to share none of that with me, but I'm just here to let you know that it's time to boldly step forth in your faith and with your relationship with God. And remember that you deserve just because you are you. Uh-oh, y'all. You already know what time it is. It is time for our fun closing segment. And today's fun closing segment is going to be a very quick solo dolo. Oh, y'all, I'm so sad. So, very, very quickly, I just want to update you guys on my dating life. Y'all, I don't have no contenders. Formula period, the end. We don't have no contenders, y'all. We did have some contenders, but now we do not. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Y'all remember the guy that I told y'all about a long time, not a long time ago, but a while ago, the one who be lying? Y'all, why he texted me? I had like deleted his number and all of those things, but he texted my phone and I was like, what's going on? So when I looked at the message, he basically just said, good morning. And I was like, what's up? Like, what do you need? Because I don't really believe in ignoring people in a sense like this because he hasn't been like hitting me up or anything like that. But if I do need to block you or tell you to stop reaching out to me, I will do that. But he said good morning and I was like, hey, what's up? And he basically just said we should catch up. And I did not respond to that. I meant to respond, but I was busy and I don't owe anybody my time. But in my head, I was like, sir, why would I want to talk to you after all this time? What is going on? Why are you rebounding to me after I was the one who ended it in the first place? So I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it don't even matter. I don't know what's going on there, but I cannot talk to somebody who lies as much as he does. Um, so that happened a couple of weeks ago, last week, something like that. And the other update is on the guy that I recently went on a date with that I told you guys about in the last solo dolo. The guy who was white. Y'all, we don't talk no more. And it wasn't because of anything, it was because of, well, he's dealing with things in his life that he really needs to focus on. And I was just like, that's cool. Focus on those. There are things that he really does need to focus on. It's no situation. And I don't want to, share his business, even though y'all don't know who he is. I don't want to share his business, but he has some things going on. And I was like, no, that is way more important. Go ahead and deal with that. But I'm so sad because I wanted to go on another date with him. But, anyways, with all of that being said, your girl is really solo dolo. There are no contenders. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm focusing on my relationship with God. This is a great time for me to not have anybody to worry about or date anybody and all of that stuff. My heart is open. My heart is always open, but this is a great time for me to start practicing what I'm preaching in this episode, asking God for the desires of my heart. Amen. My husband, that's all I want. I want the man that God has for me. Amen. That's the only one that I want. But this is a perfect time for me to start practicing asking God for my deepest, darkest desires and also pushing my career forward. I've been in a place where I haven't really been doing much acting and it's starting to get to me a little bit. So that's where I'm going to refocus my energy because I forgot who I was talking to, but I was talking to a friend and I was just saying, like, when I'm in relationship, that is my priority. And that's not a bad thing. I'm just that type of woman. When I have a relationship or, if this is something that I can see going, the distance, I want to make sure that, that it is a priority. I don't like throw everything in my life to the wayside, but I spend a lot of time with this person that I'm in a relationship with. So I'm in a very sweet spot. I'm also 30 now, so I'm rediscovering who I am. And I'm just excited to see what the rest of my first year of my 30s has in store for me. And yeah, so that's the update on Solo Dolo. I'm really solo dolo. I don't have no contenders, y'all, but it's okay. It is definitely okay. And I'm not tripping at all. And what is for me is for me. It will not miss me. So I'm not even tripping. Now, by the time I turn about 36, I might be tripping a little bit because I'm trying to have 6 kids. But we ain't there yet, and we got time. We got time. We got time. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening or watching today's episode. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below and leave us a comment. This is the biggest reason why I wanted to be on YouTube, so we could actually communicate in the comments. And if you're listening, if you're not already subscribed to the podcast or follow the podcast, go ahead and follow us. And don't forget to rate and leave a review. I love reading all of your reviews. That's the only way we can communicate communicate on the podcast side of things. But yes, if you're watching the video, make sure you also give it a like and leave us a comment. Like I said, and turn on your notifications. Make sure your notifications are on so you can get all of the alerts anytime we post any new video content here on the Affirmations for Black Girls YouTube channel. And with that being said, I will see you guys again soon. We have some fun Pep Talk Wednesday episodes coming up for you. I'm trying my best to get those to be video as well. So they're shorter listens and shorter watches so you can have it on while you're going to work or all of the things. So let me know if you guys like this episode, if you like the format of this episode, because as a lot of the OG listeners know, I typically script out my entire podcast, and I didn't do that today, and I kind of can't really do that with the video episodes. So let me know what you think, because I really appreciate it, and let me know because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to give you guys what you want. I'm trying to give you what you want, and also make sure that you guys shop Dorado. What necklace I got on? Oh, I got on my AFBG necklace right now. Make sure that you shop Dorado. I like every piece that I've gotten. They sent me so many pieces, y'all. I could not show y'all all the pieces that I got. But anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys again next week or later this week, depending on when you're listening. This is Affirmations for Black Girls.